16 cards in my deck, and I still have Sam Wilson on turn 2. That's professionalism right there, gamers. Nova Fire here. This card is bananas. We have 3 pretty solid hits into Sakar here. So naturally Miles is about to come slamming down. Okay, we take those. We won their priority coin flip there. So I'll power up Agamotto on the board for us. Oh, that's really cute. If we try and hit the fire hair into the Atuma path, that seems like a decent 50-50 for us, yeah? I haven't seen anybody else do Atuma fire hair before. This actually low-key seems like one of the better enablers for her, yeah? Maybe we'll have to play some with that. I like where their head's at. Never won a 50-50 in my life. Unlucky. I think it's this. We obviously can't lock them on the right because Atuma's going to be opening them up, but I think that's the one we wanted to drag. They're a Galactus deck. Oh my goodness, if the Atuma would have hit Galactus, we would have died. That's actually hilarious. I assume they're snapping because they're going to blow up the Galactus. Which means when we punt Fire Hair into the center, we should be good to go. I guess they could also be like Shang snapping my Agamotto or something. Oh yeah, you eat those lovely ladies. Cool. Good night. I was buying what they were selling up until they tried to Galactus us. A lot of snap points, video gamers. Is this the one? Are we gonna finally stop spewing and maybe climb up a little bit? Spent a lot of time on the treadmill this afternoon. I think I want to put Craven here or here, because these are the locations they're likely to play Captain into. If they've got him. Do I do this so I can just start bouncing it back and forth this way next turn? I think so. Actually, do I do this and then this? And then I have 2 caps over here? I think so. If anyone was wondering what level of insanity we've reached this week as we head into our 3rd month of fascism in the United States, we've hit, we need to remove cell phones from the schools because the radio waves are melting the children's brains. Chat, are the phones woke? Absolutely. Wokest phones you've ever seen. Alright, we got a kingpin and a cannonball. Hadouken! To shrink this Iron Patriot down to -1. Oh, Quake means their Iron Patriot card is cheap at least. That's nice for them, I suppose. This is +5. I think we're supposed to go +12. And we win left and right.
Victory.
The wonderful part is the radio waves melting the children's brains than even the most nonsense science thing that's come out this week. It's that atrocious story of the family that had their five children all get the measles and one of them died, and then them going on the record and letting people know they still shouldn't get their kids vaccinated because most of their kids lived. It's not that bad. Most of the kids lived. It's incredible that those type of people are allowed to continue to have their children in their care. It's a huge disservice to the children. I think we're doing this. It encourages them to fill up the left. Do I need to draw cards out of my deck at this point in the game? I don't think so. I think I want to build up the right here. Competing for this lane actually doesn't matter, yeah? So they can move the shield to get more points in on the left. But if they move the shield, I gain 2 points there. I feel like I want to play for all of them. I assume we're getting Shang down the right. Shang brain. Imagine playing around the tech card, chat. Climbing on up. Do. Gosh, Scream really neuters Sam. He's so limp in the face of it. This person ran the timer down every turn and made very perfect plays last time we played them. So it might be +1 viewer for this game. Which actually makes effects like Spider-Man and some others a little bit better. Because we don't know the outcome of what's going to happen, so they can't necessarily play around it. Even when working with perfect info. Alright, Pete, can you win a 50-50 for me, bud? Nope, never once. Not even once. The good news is we get to murder Firehair next turn now, though. Yeah, all things considered, this is a quality fail state for us. Thanos buff in action. I think I know what I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna wait till the end of the timer to do it. Can we say this is a Hoaglandian then? We can, yeah. Okay. What a good use of everyone's time involved. What a good use of everyone's time involved. My wallet is not ready for shiny Pokemon, actually. I'm curious how much they're gonna cost to brute force. Because 2 stars already cost $250 to brute force, so I imagine they're gonna be more expensive than those. Brute force is in cash to back points. Yes. Yeah, exactly that. My money's on somewhere in the like 2,000 pack point range. I don't know if my body's ready to get Luke Cage, but that's what that snapback feels like. Yikes. Yikes! I haven't played a deck that gets turned off by Luke Cage in a while. It's unfortunate. What happens if you steal power before Luke Cage is played? Yeah, Scream will keep the buffs at least. So they'll get all their points back. Like this Cassandra Nova is gonna go back to, you know, being whatever she was. I mean, I do just get to continue bullying all their cards here. And Scream is ticking up and up and up and up. I'm about to lose 8 cubes of this top deck, Luke. I probably already have it, realistically. Opponent. Do 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 do. Hello. Hello. Paging Lucas. Lucas, are you there?
Spider-Man here.
Oh, that was not where we wanted him to go. Wow, I cannot believe we only lost this game by a point. LT Dexel, thank you for the half a year. Welcome back. Luatek, thank you for the 15 months. Good evening, good evening. Appreciate the folks that are here for our long one today. Holy. God, the Afflict deck is one of those decks where every time I see its stats, I'm just like, I don't remotely understand how this deck is good. Because, like, they turned off a significant portion of our deck, and they still only won by a single point. Like, if you're not winning the games where you turn off a significant portion of my deck, like, what are you actually winning? What do they look like? It still takes a little getting used to that this doesn't get powered up on things like this anymore. Ooh, they just activated Anya. Lovely. Come on, scream. Come on, scream. Yeah, Craven not getting his buff here, unfortunate. I think we're probably dead without the Screeb here. We dislike that rules change. I dislike that it made some decision points less tactical, but from a continuity standpoint, I think it was definitely a good change. So it's one of those, like, I liked the way it worked before, but I understand why they did what they did, if that makes sense. I can't decide if this is bait or not. This could definitely be bait. We might be about to fall for it really hard. Not bait. They are cooked. Alright. I accept humbly and graciously. I can do this all day with the Infinite Border Avatar cap. Cap Avatar is just good roleplay. Can I draw one of my 5 2-drops, please? Narrator. Best I could do is Magneto. Chin up, Hogland. It'll be okay. Our curve is terrible. We queued into Luke Cage again. I'm gonna take them all again. One mulligan, please. There's all of our lovely 2s. With rocks put into our deck, I think we Sam to start, because there's a lesser chance that we find things to enable Scream. Null's not terrible. Could be better, but could be worse. Wow, is it actually just another Luke Cage deck again? It is, right? Gosh, that's unfortunate. This is part of the reason why I haven't played a ton of Scream on stream. It's an archetype that's like objectively good, has very decent stats, but I just really don't love the experience of having my deck get aggressively turned off by a single card. And they didn't draw it, so we win. Even that's like, all right, fine, good for us, I guess. Cardboard Tech, thank you for the 58 months. Appreciate that. Welcome back. I guess they did get rocked as well. Just add rogue. The problem is the good players don't the good players don't play them out aggressively, right? Like they Luke on the last turn, so the anti-tech isn't good against them. You'll get worse players with it for sure. But people who know what they're doing won't be impacted by it largely. This is our favorite Casper this evening. Oh, we inspired them, chat. They changed the deck that we're playing after we beat them last time. Where do we put Rocket and Groot? I feel like there's compelling arguments to put it everywhere. Lucky. So this is definitely going here. I think it's just Cannonball into Magneto. So the shield moving into here puts the Kraven to 7, which gets them to 10. And then these all get +1 for having an ongoing card here. So I'll be at 7, 8, 9, 10 myself. And then Scream gets 2 bigger when I move one of their things around. And then I'm at 13 in the middle plus the ability to grow more. This gives them the ability to Shang-Chi us here for a bunch, but I think that's okay. We're not playing Shang in our build, but that stuff's like ranch dressing to Marvel Snap players. They put it in everything. We do have 10 energy here, which is a lot. So they only need 3 to be winning the right, and the question is, do they put enough in the center to be able to overcome what we've got there? Narrator, they did. Is it gonna come down to the 50-50? Wow, it came down to the 50-50 at the end, yeah. If Sam had gone right, we would have been at 17 and they would have been at 16. I feel like I kind of lean towards I don't expect this deck is better with Agamotto in it. I think would be my assumption. I want to play it a little bit more because it still feels very reasonable, but I think a lot of these synergy style decks are probably a little bit worse when they're less consistent, which is what Agamotto does. I'm not sure that the power of like his wind spell makes up for the fact that you're like getting your screams and Sam's less consistent. All right, let's go ahead and take a brief pause for the cause. We're gonna do one more set with this deck when we get back, and then we'll change up for something else. Appreciate everybody getting their drops done on day one here in Hooglandia with us. We are still floating above 2,000 concurrents on Twitch. My plan is to basically be live until we fall below that, so it could be a little while yet. We're at about 2,500 right now. That's where I was landing too. Yeah, you don't have room for Juggernaut in this list because of Agamotto. Is accurate. So far, and it makes me a little sad to say this, but the only deck I've really loved Agamotto in where I'm like, this definitely feels optimal is just kind of the generic good stuff mush. One of those like, yep, he's just a card that adds high quality stuff to your deck, and his downside to giving you high quality stuff is he makes your deck less consistent. So you just kind of need your stuff to not be synergy pieces. You just be individually good parts for him to be ideal. I really like that they moved Pete to 2/4. He's a much more interesting card when he's a little bit more efficient. I'm weary this is going to be the main deck people play, especially when Ultron drops. The Scream deck or the good stuff bush that we were talking about? Ultron. Ultron's like two or three OTAs in a patch from now, right? Got a lot going on, but a lot that could happen between now and then. The good stuff, yeah. Oh, you're saying the best deck for the Ultron might just be the good stuff deck? Yeah, very possibly. He's just like a solid on-rate card that fills your 5/6 curve really nicely. I could see that being the case. Good stuff is incredibly fun, says the Zabu enjoyer. That tracks. Squirrel. fails. It's unfortunate. Anybody else miss Sanctum? I wish Sanctum was a mode we could still be playing. What's the Ultron? The Data Mind Infinity Ultron, yeah. That was a little bit of a gamble. We could have pulled their Squirrel out of Superflow, but I think it's correct to take. What if we take her on a trip around the world? That sounds great.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here. We are the future.
Future. If they Surfer and I cannonball one of them out of the left, they end up at 15. And I am also only at 15. I think that means we're gonna be short, yeah? So if we assume we tie here, I'm up 19 here and 2 here. They would be at 7. 19, I'm at 21, and this would be 7 of that 21. So they would need, this would be 3 of that 21. So they would need 11 points. Surfer would be 2. They would need 9 points on the last one. I think we can stay for one more. Hey, Frog. Thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Appreciate that. Welcome back. Shaw's the one card that gets us, yeah? By one single point. They're up 18, we're up 17. Brutal. We counted and said they needed a 9. Shaw is exactly 9 with Galacta. Galacta Surfer. I guess we're moving some cards around. I like to shmove it. I like to shmove it. They have a 5/10. I just don't even want to play against Luke Cage deck. I'll try 1 or 2 more, but I think the polarized matchup tables this deck has really just makes it not enjoyable for me. Just being dead to rights every time we queue into Luke Cage.
Shiny logo.
Got the Grand Kaiser Human Torch. Nice. That might be the next deck we play, actually. I've been meaning to play a little movement. Looking at the deck tracker and just seeing like every card in our deck that costs 1, 2, and 3 still left is so infuriating. It's like, yep. And they have priority here is the issue, so they're gonna get Frigga this before we turn it off. We still make one of them not do anything here, which is nice, but... Oh, I messed this up. I might hit the Frigga now, too. I'm gonna blame that to it being late. Yeah, I deserve this loss. That one's not on the deck being polarized. That one's on me. I should have hit it here and then drug it here. And that's a spot where if we just, like, had any of our cheaper cards... That's one of those games where it feels like Agamotto loses this deck that game, right? Although I suppose we don't have the wins and we die anyways without it. Maybe Agamotto's the only reason we have the chance. I don't know. It's a solid curve. A little bit of a shield placement diff here. All right, Makari make it up for it a little bit. This is probably the... There's a build going around that's playing... Sandman and stuff, I would wager is what this is. Like Sandman, Doctor Doom, Miss Marvel type stuff with Makari and Salmonette. I think I'm staying for the snap on the Elysium. Oh, right. They're just like all the tech card mush. I can't pull the shield anymore with Polaris. Oh, my goodness. Oh my goodness, we don't pull the shield anymore with Polaris. All right, well, that one's embarrassing.
Escape.
Unironically, this is one of the downsides for Marvel Snap's regular balance cadence. Is I'm someone who it's my job to like play this game almost all day, several days a week. And I have a hard time keeping up with interactions like that on occasion, especially on a long day. People who play more casually, it's one of the reasons why they get pushed back on the way they do balance changes, like logging in for the first time in a week, or like really sitting down to play and then suddenly your cards don't work in the way you remembered them working is tough. Can be very off-putting. Yes, exactly. The cost of the shield changing is such a niche one. To be fair, I don't think that was a game where her highlighting the card would have mattered because I wouldn't have noticed her not highlighting the card, I don't think. She might actually highlight them. I don't actually know offhand if she does or not. Oh, they're a zoo deck. It's a rare breed.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
Damn it, Pete. Damn it, Pete! This is the reason we can't have nice things, Peter. Mr. Parker. Got the Miles Peter tag team up here on the left. Unstoppable. Whoo! The double blind hit on the Rocket and Groot is delicious. Oh, I forgot about Aunt May's. Rip. They could fill the right this turn, but I think that would be good for us, so I think wins seems pretty clean. I think one of my takeaways from playing this build with Agamotto, because like obviously wins is so powerful in this deck, is that I think you probably shouldn't give up Juggernaut to fit it in. I don't know which one is more ideal, but it's probably correct to give up Cannonball or Magneto. Rather than adding a third piece of top end. Makes your images a little bit worse. Oh my gosh, this Rocket and Groot has just been absurd. We are just putting them through the ringer, gamers. Kicking and screaming. Kingpinning and screaming? I think Magneto would be the one I'd incline to cut. Cannonball's so good in endgame spots like this. I think I'm supposed to Cannonball the center. If I Cannonball left, do we beat Gilgamesh there? Because I'm winning here, right? So I just need to figure out which of these two lanes this Cannonball make me most likely to win. Their Gilgamesh is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And I'm kicking 7 out of here. I'm gaining enough. Yeah, this beats Gilga on the left. The non-aggro scream. What does non-aggro mean? Can you articulate? I don't understand what you mean by non-aggro. Non-Agamotto. There just isn't a super high play rate for this build. So the non-Agamotto screen deck is the non-Agamotto screen deck is consistently one of the best performing decks in the metagame. It's regularly in the best decks roundups in terms of performance with a kind of lowish play rate. We gotta play this until we move at least 2 more cards. Weird, I just have a bunch of unsplit Sams in here. Weird, I do just have a bunch of unsplit Sams. Strange. change. Well, that's definitely an oversight. Deck editor having a moment there. I hope Snap adds improvements to the deck. Do you mean deck editor instead of overview? Not enough deck slots is an eternal battle in these types of games. I think credit where credit is due. I think Magic the Gathering Arena is like literally the only digital card game I've ever played that gives players remotely enough deck slots. How many does Arena have? I'm pretty sure it's close to triple digits. It's like a lot. I think we're in a pretty decent spot here. And they understand that they're a deck building game and they want people to be able to build lots of decks. Gosh, the fact that Rocket and Groot is also a card that bullies bounce decks. Oh my goodness, and they triggered Scream for us? Good gravy. Oh, the Pocket deck editor is heinous. Pocket holds the title for singular worst deck editor in any game I've ever played. It's really, really bad. we are just, this deck is just such an absolute bully when it pops. The Pocket deck editor isn't even just a disaster because of lack of features like deck codes that like very obviously should be there, but like even the stuff that is there is like underdeveloped and clunky to use. Powderfinger, thank you for the 11 months. Appreciate that. We're so bad in the Gamma Lab. Absolutely hate that. There are so many locations that make Shang-Chi busted. It'll be 1-1 here at least. I think that means I can snap. Pet Mansion. Offsetting the location variance a little bit for us here and letting Rocket and Groot get active is nice. No Acid Arrow, chat. My opponents are unlucky. They would never draw Acid Arrow. They lose My opponents lose all of their coin flips and I win all of mine. That's how this works. That's why I'm in the top 200. They were doing something that didn't make any plays until late, but we also didn't have any plays till late last time, if I recall correctly. Oh, they were discard. I think this is a trash matchup for our deck. Can we just leave? Our disruption is not particularly disruptive. And just go way over the top of our numbers. Beep, 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 beep. No ongoings for us, yeah. We're looking for a Spider-Man or a Polaris. Rocket and Groot would also be a decent pickup here. I think you'll pick up the new Assassin's Creed game. The only Assassin's Creed game I've ever played was Valhalla, and if I gotta be honest, it was, did not understand the hype about the series. I believe one of my direct quotes after playing Valhalla for the first time was, I can't believe this company makes as many games as they do. I think I want to save the Magneto to try and cheese them on the last turn. It's close though. What is this? Oh. There's no way they can fill Mojo World and fill the lake, right? Assuredly. The Winds of Watum even gives us some nice flexibility here. I guess there's a world where they shang us, right? Because we have priority.
We are the future.
Are they winning the center somehow? Are they playing in the center? It's like a Doctor Doom? No, that wouldn't win the game. Wow. What a random ass pile of cards. Freaking Onslaught Citadel, 2xing to get us. I was pretty whelmed by this. I'm skeptical that Agamotto actually makes this deck better. I think at a minimum, if you're gonna play Agamotto in this deck, you probably want to trim some of your top end down. Definitely found myself missing Juggernaut in some of the games, and the games that felt exceptionally clunky were the ones where, like, we drew Agamotto, Magneto, Cannonball, like one of our high cost spells. Feels pretty important that you have something to do on the first 2 to 3 turns of the game, so I think I'd be inclined to like cut Magneto for Juggernaut at a minimum if I was going to try this again, but I also think there's probably merit to just playing like the stock Scream deck without him. This card's cost of making your decks less consistent is a pretty real cost in decks like this that are trying to play synergy cards together. All right. What do we want to do next?